Upholstery is probably the most often purchased home furnishings item. Sofas and chairs can get a lot of use. Over time, fabric wears out, cushions flatten, and personal styles change. 70% of upholstery value is inside, so your customers rely on you to know the construction and value options of what they can't see. They also need your guidance on the outside, the styles, comfort, function, and fabric choices. WEO Upholstery Features Training will give you the information to speak confidently about both the inside and the outside of furniture. Upholstery is the general term used for items you can sit on that are covered in fabric or leather. Sofas, love seats, chairs, sectionals, recliners, benches, accent chairs, and sleep sofas are all forms of upholstery. Let's start with the inside. There are three basic components that make up the construction of an upholstered item. They are the cushion cores, which is what you sit on. The suspension is what supports the cushions, and the frame supports the suspension and gives the piece its overall shape. The way the cushions, suspension, and frame are constructed all affect the comfort and longevity of the piece. Customers are initially attracted to a piece of upholstery by its look and comfort. So, let's start with the cushion construction. The way cushions are constructed affects the way a piece sits or rides. There are some basic facts that apply to all cushions, regardless of the type of construction. All cushions will eventually break down and flatten over time. Cushions that are properly maintained will last longer. Fluffing, flipping, and straightening the seams on a weekly basis will keep cushions looking and feeling good for a longer period of time. The longevity of cushions is also dependent on customer usage and habits. Sofa cushions in a little used formal living room will last longer than those that are in the family room and get used for several hours every day. Recommend better quality cushions for a piece that gets daily use. Let's look at what is inside a cushion. Most start with a high-density foam core, which is usually made from polyurethane. The foam is the foundation for the cushion, but because it is quite firm, softer layers are added to it for comfort. The foam density determines how much weight the foam can handle. Most of Weekends Only upholstery has between 1.8 and 2.2 pounds per cubic foot density foam. This lasts about 6 years. Our more value-oriented vendors use 1.5 foam, which will last between 4 to 5 years. 1.5 density foam is Weekends Only minimum standard for cushion cores. But it's important to remember that all cushion longevity is affected by customer usage and habits. Make sure you tell your customers that all upholstered items need cushion maintenance in order to last longer. The layers added to the foam for comfort are called the wrap, and there are a few different kinds. First, there is a Dacron, also called a fiber wrap. Dacron looks like cotton batting, but is heavier. A Dacron wrap is the Weekends Only minimum standard. Some manufacturers use a memory foam wrap instead of Dacron. This changes the feel of the cushion somewhat, but it breaks down less than Dacron. Last is a down blend wrap. Goose feathers are wrapped around the core, giving an extremely soft and luxurious feel. Down wrap is the most expensive type, but lasts much longer than both Dacron and memory foam. Some manufacturers go an extra step and insert coil springs right into the high-density foam. This is called Marshall coil or pocketed coil springs, just like in mattresses. These springs provide extra comfort and maximum protection against cushion flattening. They are a great upgrade and should be pointed out to your customers. Let's review the information on cushion cores. High-density foam is the foundation for most cushions. A layer is added for softness, usually Dacron. A memory foam wrap has a longer lifespan than Dacron. A down blend wrap is the most luxurious, most long-lasting, and most expensive type of added layer. At the higher price points, Marshall coil springs can be placed inside the foam core for added strength and longevity. All cushions require regular maintenance, like fluffing and turning to slow the breakdown process. The longevity of cores is always ultimately dependent on the customer's usage and habits. The next component we'll discuss is the suspension. This is what supports the cushions. The most common type of suspension is called sinuous no sag, or S-coils, because of their shape. The sinuous shape of the coils gives a consistent feel over the entire cushion without sagging. Steel coils are heated and cooled to make them stronger. This process is called tempering. Different thicknesses of steel can be used. The thicker the steel, the stronger the coil. Sinuous coils are the weekend's only minimum standard suspension. Another form of suspension is called webbing. It's tightly woven and gives a softer feel than steel S-coils. It is often used in frames where there is not enough depth for springs or coils, such as some dining chairs or high leg chairs and sofas. Last, the gold standard of suspension is 8-way hand-tied. Individual steel coils are hand-tied to each other by strings in 8 directions. The coils cover the entire seating area and provide excellent support and durability. Because 8-way hand-tied suspension is very labor-intensive to produce, it is the most expensive form of suspension. Let's review the different types of suspension systems. Sinuous coils are the most common suspension. They are made of steel and provide good support without sagging. They are Weekends Only's minimum standard suspension. Webbing gives a softer ride than steel and is usually found in items without enough depth for springs or S-coils. 8-way hand-tied is extremely durable and comfortable. It is labor-intensive to produce and found in the best upholstered products. Let's move on to the frame, which is critical to durability and the component that gives the piece its shape and form. Frames made of wood are Weekends Only minimum standard, and there are 2 kinds: solid wood and plywood. As you can imagine, solid wood frames are quite costly to produce, so many manufacturers will use solid wood only to support the suspension system and use plywood everywhere else. Solid wood is more prone to warping or splitting around the knots in the wood. Plywood is made up of thin layers of wood that are glued together in alternating directions. This reduces the warping and splitting and makes plywood stronger. The more layers, the stronger the plywood. Some plywood is even stronger than solid wood. Some plywood is made from chipboard, which are wood chips that are bonded together with glue and then layered like regular plywood. The last piece in this puzzle is the assembly of the frame. There are several ways manufacturers assemble frames. They use screws, glue, or wood dowels. The best constructed frames will use all three. In less expensive furniture, they may use just staples. Many factories will also use corner blocks in the frame to provide additional strength and keep the frame from twisting or wobbling. Let's review upholstery frame construction. Wood frames can be either solid wood or plywood or a combination. Solid wood is more prone to cracking where there is a knot. Plywood is made from thin layers of wood that are glued together in alternating directions. Plywood can be either all wood or chipboard. Weekend's only minimum standard is all wood frames. Frames can be assembled using screws, glue, dowels, or all three. Less expensive frames use staples. Corner blocks are sometimes used to keep frames from wobbling. The term motion upholstery means just that. They are upholstered items that move in some way. It is one of the most popular seating types on the market today, and Weekends Only has a large selection to choose from. Motion seating comes in all shapes and sizes, with different types of motion. Let's start with reclining chairs. Some recliners not only recline, they also have other kinds of motion. Rocker recliners rock back and forth like a rocking chair. Glider recliners move forward and backward instead of rocking in an arching way. Glider rocker recliners do all three: rock, glide, and recline. Swivel recliners swivel left to right on a round base. Lift chairs include a mechanism that will lift the recliner to an angled, almost upright position. This is great for people who have trouble getting up out of a chair. Wall huggers can be placed closer to the wall and take up less space than other recliners. This is because the seat moves forward when reclining, which brings the back away from the wall. Love seats, sofas, and sectionals can also have recliners in them. Those will just recline, not swivel or rock. There are two types of operating mechanisms on recliners. Some have a manual mechanism, which can be a pull handle, a latch, or a parachute pull. These are located on either the interior or exterior side panel. To close the recliner, the customer needs to push the footrest back down with their legs, and the back will pop back up. This can be difficult for older folks or customers who don't have the strength to do it easily. Recliners without a mechanism are called pushbacks because that is exactly how they work. The customer sits in them and pushes back to recline and raise the footrest. These are usually more decorative recliners with high legs where there is no room for a mechanism. If your customer tells you that they want a recliner that doesn't look like a recliner, this is the type to show them. There are also power mechanisms. Simply press a button either side of the panel of the piece or with a handheld remote and the chair reclines automatically. A power mechanism is easy to use and has a smooth reclining motion. It is a relatively inexpensive upgrade, usually less than $200 for a dual reclining sofa. Some power mechanisms come with battery packs, but if they don't, you need to remind your customer that their power upholstery needs to be near an outlet. Besides power, there are other style and comfort features in better motion upholstery. Reclining positions can be a 2-position, 3-position, or infinite. Infinite is the best because the customer can get exactly the right position that is most comfortable for them. Power recliners have infinite positions, which is the best reason of all for a customer to purchase one. A recliner with a higher back and separate movable headrests will be more comfortable than one with a low back, especially for taller people. A split chase recliner has a gap between the seat and the footrest. A full chase recliner has foam and fabric from the seat all the way out of the end of the footrest. This is more comfortable, offers more support for the customer's legs, and is more visually appealing. Other upgrades are drop-down tables, storage compartments, drawers, cup holders, lighting, massage, control touchpads, power outlets, and USB ports. Let's review the features of motion upholstery. Recliners can also swivel, rock, or glide. Wall hugger recliners take up less space. A lift chair is a good choice for people who have difficulty rising out of a regular chair. There are two types of operating mechanisms. They are either manual or power. Recliners are 2 or 3 position, or infinite positions, with infinite being the best. Pushback recliners are more decorative, usually with high legs. A full chase recliner offers more support and is more comfortable than a split chase. A higher back and separate headrest provide better comfort. Motion upgrade features include cup holders, storage, power outlets, USB ports, massage, lighting, tables, and touchpad controls. We've covered the motion category and what's inside upholstery. Now let's take a look at the outside. The outside is what initially draws a customer to any given item. They look at the shape and the style of the piece. They think about whether or not the piece will hold up to their lifestyle. They sit in it to see if it's comfortable. And they think about the look, feel, color, and pattern of the fabric or leather. Your customer will be drawn to certain fabrics or leather because of the way they look and feel. You can help them understand the content and durability of the fabrics they like so they can make the right choice for their lifestyle. Since leathers are reviewed in their own module, we'll start with fabrics. Polyester is a man-made synthetic fiber that is very durable, fade-resistant, and easy to clean. The majority of weekends-only fabric upholstery is polyester. Chenille is a type of fabric with a fuzzy, soft texture. It can be made from a variety of fibers, including cotton, polyester, rayon, and olefin. Chenille is the French word for caterpillar, an insect known for being fuzzy. It's a great choice for customers who want a warm, cozy feel. Microfiber is also called micro suede because of its suede-like texture. It is 100% polyester and so tightly woven that liquids bead up rather than soak in. It is relatively inexpensive and comes in many thicknesses. The thicker the fabric, the more durable it is. Cotton, linen, silk, and other natural fibers feel great and are environmentally friendly. They take dye well, but are not very color fast, so they will fade in direct sunlight. They also absorb stains and odors and are not as easy to clean as synthetics. Natural fibers are best used in low-use areas and out of direct sunlight. Rayon is made from heavily processed wood pulp blended with polyester for softness, giving it a silky feel. If your customer is considering rayon, you should explain that it is somewhat delicate and requires special care and cleaning. Polypropylene, acrylic, and olefin are synthetic fabrics with similar qualities. They are moisture and fade resistant and hold their shape well. They are great choices for families with children, pets, or messy friends. Let's face it, we all have them. Time for a quick review of fabrics. Polyester is a synthetic that is easy to clean, durable, and fade resistant. The majority of weekends only fabric upholstery is polyester. Microfiber is 100% polyester that feels like suede. The thicker the fabric, the more durable it is. Spills beat up rather than soak in. Chenille is fuzzy, like the caterpillar it is named for, and a great choice for customers who want a warm, cozy feel. Rayon is made from wood pulp and has a silky feel. It is delicate and requires special care and cleaning. Natural fibers are environmentally friendly and feel great, but they absorb stains and odors and are not easy to clean. They should not be placed in direct sunlight. Polypropylene, acrylic, and olefin are all synthetics that are sturdy, fade, and moisture resistant, and hold their shape well. Now, let's talk about style. Besides the fabric choice, the look or style of a piece is influenced by the arms, base, back, and cushion type. As we discussed in the Customer Needs System module, it's best to stay away from asking your customers if they like traditional or modern, as those words mean different things to different people. Instead, ask, do you prefer clean, straight lines, or something more curvy and ornate? This question will give you the information you need to guide your customers to the right products. Now, with that being said, clean, straight lines are usually considered more modern. Curvy and ornate are usually considered more traditional. There are dozens of arm and back styles. These are just a few examples. On the left side of your screen are some arm styles that are clean and straight, giving them a more modern look. On the right side are some curvy and more ornate styles that are more traditional in feeling. The same is true for bases. On the left, there are clean, straight bases, and on the right are some curvy examples. Skirts are almost always considered traditional. More ornate upholstered pieces may also have other adornments like fringe, nail trim, tassels, and ornate fabrics like tapestries or damask. In keeping with the clean, straight concept, more modern pieces will not have much additional adornment. The fabrics tend to be simple, plain textures, or prints with clear, bold patterns and colors, usually used as accents. Backs and cushion styles have more to do with function and comfort than being traditional or modern. For example, a scatterback sofa means the pillows will need to be fluffed and arranged every time you use this piece. Not a good choice for someone who wants things looking neat all the time. A tight back means there is no separate cushion and the fabric is padded and upholstered right to the back of the frame. This creates a much firmer feel than a piece with a cushion, and unlike a separate cushion, you won't be able to flip it over if it gets dirty. The same is true with a button tufted piece. The tufting makes it firmer than a piece with a separate cushion. Especially with sofas, the way the seat cushions are designed affects the comfort and function. A bench cushion is great for lying down on, but one end might pop up when you sit on the other end. And seating 3 people on a 2-cushion sofa means someone has to sit in the crack. A tight sofa will be firmer, and of course, like a tight back, you can't flip the cushion over if it gets dirty. These are all things to discuss with your customer to make sure that the piece they purchase will suit their needs. Let's review what is on the outside of upholstery. The back, arms, base, and cushion type help determine the look of the piece. Stay away from labels like traditional or modern. Instead, ask your customer if they prefer clean, straight lines, or something more ornate and curvy. Clean and straight is considered more modern, and curvy is considered more traditional. More ornate pieces may also have nail trim, fringe, tassels, and more ornate fabrics like damask and tapestry. Clean lined pieces usually feature simple textured fabric paired with accent fabrics that are bold and crisp. Seat and back cushions affect both comfort and function. Congratulations! You have completed the slideshow portion of the Weekends Only Upholstery Features Training. See your trainer for the next steps at Upholstery Features Training.